My name is Sophie Anderson. I am 30 years old. I live in Chicago. From the outside, my life looks perfect. But inside, I am empty. Inside, I am sad. I have a good job. I work at a big law firm. I am a lawyer. I make a lot of money. Everyone says I am successful. I have a nice apartment in the city. It has big windows and modern furniture. Everything is clean and organized. Everything is perfect. I have a boyfriend. His name is Richard. We have been together for 5 years. Richard is handsome and successful. He is a doctor. Everyone says we are the perfect couple. But I am not happy. I have everything I am supposed to want. But I feel nothing. I feel empty. Every morning, I wake up and look at my life. I ask myself the same question. Is this all there is? I go to work. I sit at my desk for 12 hours. I read legal documents. I write reports. I attend meetings. The work is boring. It makes me tired. But I do it anyway because it pays well. I come home late. Richard is usually working too. We order takeout food. We eat in silence. We watch television. We do not really talk. We do not really connect. How was your day? Richard asks. Fine, I say. Yours? Busy, he says. That is it. That is our conversation every night. We have been together for 5 years, but I do not feel close to him. I do not feel loved. I do not feel seen. Sometimes I try to talk to him about my feelings. Richard, I am not happy, I say one evening. He looks up from his phone. What do you mean? You have everything. A great job. A nice apartment. Me. What more do you want? I do not know, I say. I just want to feel something. I want to feel alive. I want to be happy. Richard shakes his head. Happiness is not real, Sophie. Life is about responsibility, about doing what you are supposed to do. You need to grow up and accept that. His words hurt me, but maybe he is right. Maybe I am being childish. Maybe this is just what adult life is. But deep inside, I know something is wrong. This cannot be all there is to life. One Tuesday morning, I wake up and I cannot move. I mean, physically I can move, but mentally I cannot. I cannot get out of bed. I lie there, staring at the ceiling. I think about going to work, about sitting at that desk, about reading those boring documents, about pretending everything is fine. And I cannot do it. I just cannot do it anymore. I call in sick. It is the first time I have called in sick in 3 years. I stay in bed all day. I do not eat. I do not shower. I just lie there, thinking about my life. What am I doing? Why am I living this way? When did I stop being happy? I think back to when I was younger. I was happy then. I loved art. I loved painting. I spent hours creating beautiful things. I dreamed of being an artist. But my parents said art was not practical. You need a real career, they said. Something stable. Something respectable. So, I went to law school. I became a lawyer. I did what everyone expected me to do. And I lost myself. That evening, Richard comes home. He finds me still in bed. Sophie, what is wrong with you? He asks. He sounds annoyed, not concerned. I am tired, I say. Tired of what? Richard asks. You have everything. You are being dramatic. Maybe I do not want everything, I say. Maybe I want something different. Like what? Richard asks. I do not know, I say. But not this. Not this empty, meaningless life. Richard's face becomes hard. You are being ridiculous. I do not have time for this. I have a surgery tomorrow. I need to prepare. He leaves the room. He does not ask if I am okay. He does not try to understand. That night I lie awake. I make a decision. I cannot live like this anymore. Something has to change. I just want to be happy. Is that too much to ask? The next morning, I do something crazy. I do something I have never done before. I quit my job. I walk into my boss's office. My hands are shaking. My heart is pounding. I am resigning, I say. Effective immediately. My boss looks shocked. Sophie, what?
Why?
Is this about money? We can give you a raise. It is not about money, I say. I am just not happy here. I need to do something different with my life. But you are one of our best lawyers, my boss says. You have a future here. Do not throw that away. I am not throwing anything away, I say. I am choosing myself. For the first time in my life, I am choosing what I want. I clean out my desk. My coworkers stare at me. They whisper. They think I am crazy. Maybe I am crazy. But I also feel something I have not felt in years. I feel free. When I tell Richard that evening, he explodes. You did what? He yells. Are you insane? Do you know how much that job paid? I know, I say calmly. But money does not make me happy. Nothing makes you happy, Sophie, Richard says. You are never satisfied. You always want more. You are selfish. His words sting.
But I realize something.
Richard does not know me. He does not understand me. He never did. Maybe I am selfish, I say. But I am also unhappy. And I cannot keep living like this. I need to find out who I really am. I need to find out what makes me happy. This is ridiculous, Richard says. You are having some kind of crisis. You will regret this. Maybe, I say. But I have to try. That night, Richard and I have a long, difficult conversation. We both know the truth. We do not love each other. We probably never did. We were just together because it was convenient, because it looked right from the outside. I think we should break up, I say. Richard is quiet for a long time. Then he nods. Maybe you are right, he says. This is not working. We break up that night. After 5 years together, it ends. And surprisingly, I do not feel sad. I feel relieved. I move out of the fancy apartment. I cannot afford it without my lawyer salary. I find a small studio apartment in a different neighborhood. It is not fancy, but it is mine. I have some money saved. Enough to live on for a few months while I figure things out. But figure out what? I do not know what I want to do. I do not know who I am anymore. I spend my days walking around the city. I visit museums. I sit in coffee shops. I think. I reflect. I try to reconnect with myself. One day, I walk past an art supply store. I stop and look in the window. I see paints, brushes, canvases. My heart beats faster. I walk inside. The smell of paint and paper fills my nose. It smells like my childhood, like happiness. I buy some basic supplies. Paint, brushes, a small canvas. I take them home. That evening, I paint for the first time in 10 years. I do not paint anything specific. I just paint. Colors. Emotions. Feelings. It feels amazing. It feels like coming home. I paint every day after that. My apartment becomes full of paintings. They are not perfect. They are not professional. But they are mine. They are real. They are honest. My mother calls me one day. Sophie, I heard you quit your job and broke up with Richard, she says. Her voice is disappointed. What are you doing with your life? I am trying to be happy, Mom. I say. Happy, she says. Sophie, happiness is not a career. You need stability. You need security. Maybe I need happiness more, I say. You are throwing your life away, my mother says. You are being foolish. Her words hurt, but I do not let them stop me. I am done living for other people. I am done doing what everyone else thinks I should do. I am living for me now. Money becomes tight. My savings are running out. I need to find work. But I do not want to go back to law. I cannot go back to that life. I start looking for different kinds of work. Something creative. Something that makes me feel alive. I find a job at a small art gallery. The pay is low, very low, but I love it. I help set up exhibitions. I talk to artists. I learn about different art styles. I am surrounded by creativity and beauty every day. My coworkers are different from the lawyers I used to work with. They are passionate. They are alive. They care about art, not money. One of my coworkers is named Jake. He is a painter. He is talented and kind. He has long hair and paint-stained clothes. He is the opposite of Richard. Jake and I become friends.
We talk about art. We talk about life.
We talk about what makes us happy. Why did you leave law? Jake asks me one day. Because it was killing my soul, I say. I was successful, but I was miserable. I realized that success without happiness is meaningless. Jake nods. I get that, he says. My parents wanted me to be an accountant. Safe, stable, boring. But I could not do it. I had to paint, even if it means I am broke, even if it means I struggle. At least I am doing what I love. Are you happy? I ask. Jake smiles. Yeah, he says. I am. Not every day, but most days. I wake up excited about life. I create things that matter to me. That is happiness. I envy Jake. He has figured out what I am still searching for. He knows who he is. He knows what makes him happy. How did you figure out? I ask. How did you know painting was your thing? I did not figure it out, Jake says. I just listened to my heart. What makes you lose track of time? What makes you feel alive? That is your thing. I think about his words. What makes me lose track of time? Painting, creating, making art. Maybe I already know the answer. Maybe I have known all along. I continue painting in my free time. My paintings get better, more confident, more expressive. Jake sees my work one day. His eyes go wide. Sophie, these are incredible, he says. You are really talented. Have you ever thought about showing your work? Selling it? Me? I say.
No.
I am not a real artist. I am just playing around. You are a real artist, Jake says firmly. Do not diminish yourself. You have something special. You should share it with the world. His words stay with me. Could I really be an artist? Could I really make a living doing what I love? The gallery owner, Maria, also sees my work. She is impressed. Sophie, I want to give you a solo exhibition, she says. In 3 months. Will you do it? My heart stops. A solo exhibition. My own show. Is this real? I do not know if I am ready. I say. You will never feel ready, Maria says. But you're talented. People need to see your work. Will you do it? I think about it. I am scared. What if people hate my art? What if I fail? What if I embarrass myself? But then I think about my old life. Safe, stable, miserable. Yes, I say. I will do it. The next 3 months are intense. I paint every day. Some days I paint for 12 hours straight. I pour my heart onto the canvas. Every emotion, every fear, every hope, every dream. I paint about my journey, about leaving my old life, about searching for happiness, about finding myself. Jake helps me prepare for the exhibition. He teaches me how to frame my paintings, how to talk about my art, how to believe in myself. You're going to be amazing, Jake says. I am terrified, I say. Good, Jake says. That means you care. That means it matters. The night before the exhibition, I cannot sleep. I am too nervous, too excited, too scared. What if no one comes? What if everyone hates my art? What if this whole thing is a disaster? But then I remember why I am doing this. Not for success. Not for money. Not for approval. I am doing this for me.
Because it makes me happy.
Because it makes me feel alive. And that is enough. The night of the exhibition arrives. I stand in the gallery, surrounded by my paintings. They hang on the white walls, lit by soft lights. I look at them. Each one tells a story. My story. There is a painting of a woman breaking out of a cage. That is me leaving my law job. There is a painting of a dark tunnel with a small light at the end. That is me searching for happiness. There is a painting of a woman dancing in a field of flowers. That is me finding joy again. People start arriving. More people than I expected. Friends from the gallery. Artists. Strangers. Even some old coworkers from the law firm. They walk around looking at my paintings. Some people smile. Some people nod. Some people stand in silence, just staring. I am so nervous I feel sick. What are they thinking? Do they like it? Do they hate it? Then something happens. Something I do not expect. People start buying my paintings. One person buys the painting of the woman breaking out of the cage. This speaks to me, she says. I feel trapped in my own life. This gives me hope. Another person buys the painting of the dark tunnel. I am going through a difficult time, he says. This reminds me that there is light ahead. By the end of the night, I have sold 12 paintings. 12. People actually want my art. People connect with my story. Maria hugs me. You did it, Sophie, she says. You are an artist. Jake lifts me up and spins me around. I told you, he says. I told you that you were talented. I am crying. Happy tears. I cannot believe this is real. For the first time in years, I feel proud of myself. I feel like I have done something meaningful. Something real. Near the end of the evening, someone walks into the gallery. Someone I do not expect to see. Richard. He is wearing his nice suit.
He looks the same. Polished.
Professional. Cold. He walks around, looking at my paintings. His face is unreadable. Finally, he comes over to me. These are interesting, he says. Thank you for coming, I say. I am surprised he is here. I heard about your show, Richard says. I was curious. I wanted to see what you have been doing. We stand in awkward silence for a moment. Sophie, I owe you an apology, Richard says. When we were together, I did not listen to you. I did not support you. I thought you were being dramatic. But I see now that you were just trying to be true to yourself. I am shocked. Richard never apologizes. Ever. Thank you, I say. That means a lot. Are you happy now? Richard asks. I think about his question. Am I happy? I look around the gallery. At my paintings on the walls. At the people who connected with my art. At Jake, who is smiling at me from across the room. I think about my small apartment. My simple life. My creative work. I am not rich anymore. I do not have a fancy career. I do not have the perfect life I used to have. But I wake up excited every day. I do work that matters to me. I am surrounded by people who understand me. I am living authentically. Yes, I say. I am happy. Really happy. For the first time in my adult life, I am genuinely happy. Richard nods. I am glad, he says. You deserve that. He leaves. And I realize something. I do not feel angry at Richard anymore. I do not blame him for our failed relationship. We were both living lives that were not authentic to who we really are. Maybe Richard will find his happiness someday too. Maybe he will wake up and realize that his perfect life is just as empty as mine was. But that is his journey, not mine. My journey is about me, about finding joy, about living truthfully. In the months after the exhibition, my life changes in beautiful ways. I continue painting. I have another exhibition, then another. My art starts to gain attention. Not huge attention, but enough. People appreciate my work. They connect with it. I still work at the gallery. But now I also teach art classes on the side. I teach adults who want to reconnect with their creativity. People like me. People who lost themselves and are trying to find their way back. Teaching is fulfilling. I watch my students discover their own creativity. I watch them come alive. It reminds me of my own journey. Jake and I grow closer. He is my best friend. He understands me in a way no one else does. One evening, we are painting together in my studio. We work in comfortable silence. Music plays softly in the background. Sophie, Jake says suddenly, can I tell you something? Of course, I say. I am in love with you, Jake says. I have been for months. But I did not want to say anything because I know you are figuring out your life. I do not want to complicate things. But I cannot keep it inside anymore. I love you. I put down my paintbrush. My heart is racing. Jake continues, you do not have to feel the same way. I just needed you to know. You have changed my life, Sophie. Watching you transform. Watching you become yourself. It has been beautiful. You inspire me. I look at Jake. Really look at him. His kind eyes. His genuine smile. His paint-stained hands. And I realize something. I love him too. I have loved him for a while. I was just too scared to admit it. I love you too, Jake. I say. Jake's face lights up. Really? Really, I say. You make me happy. You see me. The real me. Not the lawyer. Not the perfect girlfriend. Just me. And you love me anyway. Jake walks over to me. He touches my face gently. I love you because of who you are, Sophie. Your courage. Your honesty. Your passion. You are incredible. He kisses me. It is soft and sweet and perfect. This is what love is supposed to feel like. Not empty. Not forced. But real. Natural. Right. 1 year later, I am sitting in my studio. It is a real studio now, not just my apartment. I saved enough money to rent a small space where I can paint and teach. The walls are covered with paintings. Some are finished. Some are works in progress. All of them are mine. Jake is here too. He has his own easel set up in the corner. We work side by side, creating our art together. My phone rings. It is my mother. Hi, Mom, I say. Hi, Sophie, she says. Her voice is different. Softer. How are you? I am good, Mom, I say. Really good. There is a pause. Then my mother says, Sophie, I owe you an apology. When you quit your job and left Richard, I thought you were making a huge mistake. I thought you were throwing your life away. But I was wrong. You were not throwing your life away. You were saving it. Tears come to my eyes. Mom, I came to your last exhibition, my mother says. I did not tell you because I was not sure how you would feel. But I came, and I saw your art, and I finally understood. You are happy, Sophie. Genuinely happy. And I am so proud of you. I am crying now. Thank you, Mom. That means everything to me. I am sorry I did not support you before, my mother says. I was afraid. I wanted you to have security and stability because I thought that was what mattered. But you taught me something. Happiness matters more. Living authentically matters more. I love you, Mom, I say. I love you too, sweetheart, she says. After we hang up, I sit quietly. Jake comes over and puts his arm around me. You okay? He asks. More than okay, I say. I am happy. And it is true. I am happy. Not because my life is perfect. It is not. I still struggle sometimes. Money is still tight sometimes. I still have doubts sometimes. But I am living my truth. I am doing what I love. I am surrounded by people who love and support me. I am creating beauty. I am making a difference. This is what I was searching for all along. Not perfection. Not success. Not approval. Just happiness. Simple, genuine happiness. I think back to a year and a half ago, when I was lying in bed, unable to face another day of my empty life. When I asked myself, is this all there is? I am so grateful I found the courage to change. I am so grateful I chose myself. I am so grateful I listened to my heart. My journey was not easy. There were scary moments. There were difficult decisions. There were times I wanted to give up. But I did not give up. I kept going. I kept searching. I kept believing that there was something better out there for me. And I found it. I found happiness. I found myself. I found my purpose. It is a beautiful Sunday morning. Jake and I are in the park, painting. We set up our easels near a lake. The sun is shining. Birds are singing. Everything is peaceful. A little girl walks over to us. She is maybe 7 years old. She watches us paint. That is pretty, she says, looking at my canvas. Thank you, I say with a smile. I like to draw too, the little girl says. That is wonderful, I say. You should never stop. Keep creating. Keep making art. My dad says art is not a real job, the girl says sadly. My heart aches. I see myself in this little girl. I see the child I used to be before I gave up on my dreams. I kneel down so I am at her level. Your dad is wrong, I say gently. Art is real. Creating is important. And most importantly, doing what makes you happy is the most real thing there is. The little girl smiles. Really? Really, I say. Promise me something. Never let anyone tell you that your dreams are not important. Your happiness matters. Your joy matters. Do not forget that, okay? Okay, the little girl says. She runs off, back to her parents. Jake looks at me. You are going to make me cry, he says. Sorry, I say with a laugh. Do not apologize, Jake says. What you just told that girl was beautiful. And true. I go back to my painting. I am painting a sunrise. Bright colors spreading across the sky. Light breaking through darkness. It represents my journey. From darkness to light. From emptiness to joy. From lost to found. I just wanted to be happy. That was all I wanted. It seemed simple, but it was the hardest thing I have ever had to fight for. But I did it. I chose happiness over comfort. I chose authenticity over approval. I chose myself. And now, every day, I wake up grateful. Grateful for my art. Grateful for Jake. Grateful for my small but meaningful life. Grateful for the courage I found to change. Happiness is not about having everything. It is not about being perfect. It is not about pleasing everyone. Happiness is about being true to yourself. About doing what you love. About surrounding yourself with people who see you and love you for who you really are. I learned that lesson the hard way, but I learned it. And now I am happy. Truly, deeply, authentically happy. That is all I ever wanted. And it is enough. It is more than enough. It is everything. Now that you've seen the whole story, we would really appreciate it if you rate it from 1 to 10 in the comments. Your thoughts help us improve and make sure we bring you the kind of stories you truly enjoy.